There is a bit of a controversy brewing in the world of cricket, and for a change, it's not something to do with some on field action, but all of this is happening off field. But mind you, this could have some grave repercussions on the sport that we so love. In fact, it could be a moment that could change the sponsorship marketing of not just cricket but sports in general world over. So pay attention. The center of the storm is this Puma Dive campaign that they centered around the Cricket World Cup 2023. Where did it all start? It started with a few social media influencers sharing a video which seems like an advertisement of Puma. It's about a 2-minute long video that they began to share, where they actually praised the ad. Harsh Goenka, well-known industrialist, put it on Twitter, said brilliant ad concept and execution by Puma. Similarly, many other blue tick influencers on social media began to share it, primarily complimenting Puma, the shoe brand, for a fantastic ad campaign. As you can see, brilliant ad concept and execution, imaginative ad campaign, says another one. Brilliant marketing campaign, says another user. Now, what is the problem with this ad campaign? Why is it in a bit of a controversy? First, let me try and explain the campaign to you. It involves a dive. Now, you see plenty of dives in a cricket match. So, dive is in focus. Here you see a Hardik Pandya diving. And what Puma asked its users to do is try and match any dive that they see on the cricket field with their Puma logo, the logo of Puma jumping, this very recognizable logo of a very famous shoe brand that comes out of Germany. And so if you can get a logo to match the dive that you see, you take a screenshot and you can match it, then you have plenty to gain. What do you have to gain? You click a dive, post it on social media, tag Puma on it, and what Puma is going to do, using their algorithms, try and match it to their logo. And if you find a dive that can match to the logo, you get a lot of reward. So they use the algorithm, as I mentioned. You click a snapshot of any player diving, send it, which you think could be a Puma dive or very close to their logo, you send it. They'll use their algorithm like they're using here to figure out how close it is to the logo, and then come up with a conclusion. Like in this case, it's a 78% match. So what they do is, firstly, Puma would share your results on their social media handles, telling you about the result of the dive that you got and how much it matches with their logo. 78% match in this case. And then what do you end to gain? You gain a discount from Puma. So like here, they put it out on your handle, say great dive, 40% off you could get. So if there's a higher match, you get a higher discount. And sure enough, you saw lots of users participate in this for two reasons. One, it also got a lot of push on social media because Puma used some of its athletes, like Virat Kohli, who was earlier with Puma. He put this particular post out. After that, they had Usain Bolt, and then they had Yuvraj Singh, women's captain Harmanpreet Kaur, all of them putting it out to populate social media, to make it popular, to make it go viral. And then users got excited. Then they started clicking those dives in whichever matches they were watching and sending it out to Puma. Users had two things to gain. One, their names would feature, their post would be shared by the Puma official handles. Plus, if it was a good match, they would get discounts and they would go, and then they could further share that with their friends of how much discount they would get on Puma's stores. What that resulted in was a very successful marketing campaign. As Puma put it out, 5,000 Puma dives moments that were created. So 5,000 different dives identified by viewers, and it began to trend on social media. So target was achieved. Puma then in their ad go on to say that 40 million were the views that they got on Usain Bolt's post, and 390 million impressions on the post that Virat Kohli had put out. And soon enough, the entire media was eating out of their hands. So they put on a lot of media brands here, trying to tell you that these media brands were lapping up the stories, writing about Puma Dive, and what they set out to achieve as to create a buzz in the market, they achieved via these means. So this is what Puma is talking about in their ad. But now what is the problem? What is the controversy, you must be wondering? The problem begins to start from here, where they claim that they got 26 times more mentions in social media compared to Adidas. Why is that a problem? That is a problem because Adidas, as you know, is the official sponsor of the Indian team. They paid 250 crore to the BCCI for a 5-year deal, and what Puma did was, without paying any money to the BCCI or being an official sponsor, they generated 26 times more mentions than the official sponsor. That's where the problem comes in. Then you see in the very video, you have a sports marketing personnel from Puma talking about that. Listen, in that video, in the sense boasting about their campaign, saying, listen, Adidas was sponsoring the ICC World Cup via the Indian cricket team, and guess what, we were a far more successful campaign. Puma was on the minds of the consumers because of our campaign, and so we didn't even have to pay any sort of money to be an official sponsor, and yet we were the dominant sporting brand that was spoken about during the 2023 Cricket World Cup. That's where the controversy now starts, and it further goes on to Exchange for Media website is reporting that now Puma is asking users to delete those videos. What Puma says, they asked a certain user called Karthik Srinivasan on LinkedIn that delete this video as of now. Now you're wondering, why is it that Puma is asking them to delete? To play the devil's advocate, Puma is saying that this was an internal campaign, and I can believe that, because you're boasting about how well you're doing compared to Adidas. You're boasting about that Adidas is a sponsor, but 26 times mentions we have got despite us not being sponsor. That can't be an ad that you really want to put out. So probably somebody leaked an internal communication, an internal ad that you wanted to show to your stakeholders. It was put on social media unknowingly for some people, but now this will put Puma into trouble. But as I mentioned, what will this do? This could be a watershed moment in the sports marketing and sponsorship landscape per se. More and more brands are now going to wonder, should I be an official sponsor? Should I pay that kind of money? Why can't I smartly think about a campaign by which I'm not paying that kind of money and yet garnering more attention than the official sponsor? At the moment, it does seem like that Puma with their campaign is literally trolling the BCCI by saying, listen, and trolling Adidas, their competitor, by saying that, listen, we didn't even pay that kind of money and yet we got more mentions. Maybe this will now push the administrators or people who are involved in sponsorship or give sponsorship rights to think about what are the other things that you will need to do to ensure that your official sponsors, the ones that pay you that kind of money, their interests are safeguarded. This is something that the BCCI will have to think of and could possibly be a case study for other sporting organizations going forward. Do let us know what you thought of this video. Give us a like, share it with your other friends as well, and don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today for more such sports related interesting content.